I, Doris, swear that I shall be a friend to my fellow Dorises, even at a social distance.
I, Doris,
shall wear a mask on the bus and give up my seat to a Doris who needs it more than I do.
I,
Doris, shall pick up a few bits from the shops to help a Doris who is struggling to get out.
I,
Doris, shall use my voice to amplify the voices of my fellow Dorises.
I, Doris.
And I, Doris, shall never vote Tory.
I, Doris.
And that's the pleasure of Doris. So you're all Dorises now. Yay! Hello, I'm Doris.
Hi, Doris.
Oh, hi, Dorises. I'm also Doris.
Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Don't need to know my name. Girls are all the same. Fags are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name.
Lovely to see your faces and
Hello,
hear your voices.
and welcome to the Dorising podcast. They can only hear our voices. The very first episode. Poor, unfortunately.
Shame on them.
But we've got a lovely show again this evening.
I think so.
The last one was really fun, wasn't it? I really liked it.
Oh, I had such a fun time.
Yeah,
that was good.
Absolutely.
Good tunes, lovely guests.
What more could you want? Well, I'll tell you what more you could want. You could want jelly Cleaver, because that's what we've got this evening.
You could, yeah.
Lovely jelly Cleaver. We've got Kimmi Watson.
Ooh.
And the lovely Lorna Tiefholz of Rabies Babies.
Excellent.
Ooh, that's exciting.
How are the Dorises doing this evening?
Lockdown-tastic. I was looking forward to a bit of music this evening, really, to distract from lockdown life.
Yeah. Samesies. I got bored of cooking for myself now. I'd quite like to go out again at some point and be back in the real world.
You've not ventured out yet then to all the restaurants and pubs that are cramming them in?
No, I haven't. I'm keeping a cautious eye on it all. And when I feel it's appropriate, I'll go, but I don't at this point in time. How about the other Doris? Has anyone been out?
Nope. I've
restaurant?
been out into my back garden hacking at bramble bushes.
Very nice.
And I have been down the local corner shop to pick up a few bits, and that was quite thrilling. Thrilling enough for me. No pub yet.
I'm not a fan of out anyway, so I'm absolutely fine. I take the kids to the park. We come home and it's nice. Occasionally go to the park with some mums and get drunk in the park. And then come
That's all
home.
you need.
That's what you need.
Delightful.
Yeah.
You need.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we listen to some lovely music?
I think we should. Let's do that.
Excellent.
Shall we listen to some lovely music by Jelly Cleaver? This is her new single, which is very lovely.
What's it called?
It's called In Dreams.
I'm trying to manifest from ether, quest of a part-time believer who I'm praying. And when I'm waking, I think, is this really living? Or are these tears just numbing the pain? Just chamomile to put you to sleep. And can I change my reality? Can I manifest what I believe? After I've spent so many years trying to find the truth in reality. Oh, is this real? Is this really what you want? Ask he who speak the narrative. Ask he who molds your heart. I am the dream weaver, feather above your head. I am a child of history. I know the strangest things can happen. Now deep sleep pervades me. My dreams keep me awake. Is it just my beliefs and me? I will be a conversation. I have a dream.
heavenly, wasn't it? It was
Really
beautiful.
floaty.
It reminds me a bit of Janelle Monáe. She's got a bit of that kind of funky jazz.
And sexy. Sexy, I'm going to say
jazz.
that.
Yeah, there's
that was
definitely
so delightful.
Sex has been had to that music. Who's at the door?
Is someone at the door?
I heard a bing dong. Let's let that jelly in. Are you ready for this jelly?
I am ready for this jelly.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Oh, it's jelly. Here's Jelly Cleaver.
Yay! Welcome.
Thanks so much for joining us, Jelly. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Yeah.
We were just listening to your new song In Dreams, which is beautiful.
Oh, cheers.
It's so lovely. I had not heard it before, but it's put me in such a dreamy mood. It's so beautiful.
That's good. That was the aim.
Did you record it in lockdown, or was that recorded before all this happened?
No, actually, I recorded it a bit before lockdown.
So what have you been doing with yourself during lockdown? Have you been doing any musical bits and pieces?
I think I was super lucky in a weird way, because I think I was one of the only musicians in the world who was in quarantine with their band, because I live with we're all housemates. So it was really great, actually, because we were able to do quite a few live streams together at the beginning of lockdown. So we actually felt like we had gigs every week, at least for the first few months, which was really cool. Also, it meant that because before lockdown we'd always been really busy, like too busy to actually like just sit down and jam together. But we actually managed to have a couple of jams, which was really nice. So also my housemates, shout out to them. It's Tash Kiri, who's a really great drummer. And she actually started a whole new band with her boyfriend Joe, and they're called Toe, Tash and Joe, which is great. Also on bass is my mate Hoverfly. Well, that's her artist name. Her name's Katie, but her artist name is Hoverfly, and she recently released a single. And then on sax is my mate Beth Hopkins, and she and I are in a band together called Queen Colobus, and we've actually just put out a whole EP. It's called Easy Now, and it's kind of jazz, angry jazz, nice jazz. So it's go check out that. That's Queen Colobus. And you know, I've just been kind of messing about a bit and trying to kind of practice guitar more, and thinking about writing music. Although, to be honest, I found it quite hard to write music during lockdown. But we're carrying on and trying to put some music out. And one thing that I'm looking forward to actually is that I've got a band called All Day Breakfast Cafe, which is, again, most of my housemates, and a girl called Kasha, who's my housemate, who plays the flute. Kasha Constance, that's her kind of artist name, and a couple of my other mates. And we're in an all-female band called All Day Breakfast Cafe, and we're like a disco band. And we're hoping to get into the studio sometime in September and record our debut EP thing. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's just like a super fun, dancey band. And then what else I've been doing? Oh yeah, I've started doing a couple of radio shows. So I have a radio show with my mate, again, Beth, who I live with, which is called We Call It Yaz. And we basically just take the piss out of jazz, which is really fun. We do that for 2 hours every week on Soho Radio. So that's just We Call It Yaz, if you want to check that out. And then I've also started doing this radio show on Bellamy. So I did one show which was dedicated to the Black Lives Matter movement. And then I've just finished one which is about like really experimental music. And I might do next month on like disco or Motown or something. So it's just like a little selection of my favourite tunes at the moment. But that's on Bellamy, and that's called Jelly's Jams. So yeah, I've been trying to kind of keep a bit of music going during lockdown.
Just to hear you at home, I keep thinking that we shouldn't just talk on the phone, but we do. but we do. I ask how you feeling, are you doing alright? Say you've been fine, but I know it's a lie. Cause it's you, because it's you. I didn't figure it out like that. I didn't figure it out like that. I didn't see our lives like that. I didn't see our lives like that. Easy now, your mind takes over. Line once told turns dust into gold. It's easy how a smile works wonders. I'll sing you a tune, bring you stars and the moon. A smile works wonders. I'll sing you a tune, bring you stars and the moon. Seasons change, your mind stays the same, and you're still breathing. Won't you believe it? Seasons change, your mind stays the same, and you're still breathing. Won't you believe it? Seasons change, your mind stays the same, and you're still breathing. Won't you believe it? Seasons change, your mind stays the same, and you're still breathing. Won't you believe it?
There's someone at the door.
Ding dong.
Hey, it's Kimmi
It's Kimmi.
Watson.
Hi, Kimmi.
Okay, so you've got 3 Dorises here.
Yep. Hello, Doris. Hello, Doris, and hello, Doris.
Hi.
Hi.
There's also a Jenny Cleaver whose internet is not being a friend to us at the moment, unfortunately. So this looks like a very fancy studio you're in. Is this your home?
It's kind of where I work from as well. This is my home office, and it's kind of mine and my daughter's sort of studio and study space and rehearsal space. And there's a load of guitars. Oh, other way. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
play guitars.
Mixing deck and everything. We've got drum kit in the upstairs bedroom as well. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Are you good friends with your neighbours?
Yeah, the neighbours are really cool, actually. I gave the guitar to the little boy next door because he's been having lessons. I gave him one of my old guitars. So they're totally on board. And the other neighbour, the other side, is working all the time and hardly ever in. So
even better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So how have you been occupying yourself, Kimmi, during this weird time?
From a very nice week in Devon. So I had a holiday last week, which was lovely because it was really isolated. We were in the middle of nowhere. And I had a full-on week of digital detox, which I really needed because I work in digital marketing. And the last thing I've wanted to do is kind of go anywhere where we had Wi-Fi or, and my phone became a camera basically for the week.
Nice.
So that's as close as I could get to not using the phone basically. But yeah, we had no Wi-Fi, so it was lovely. I was not contactable by work and just had a really, really nice, healthy week as well. So plenty of walking and swimming in freezing cold sea. We got Jelly back. Hi, Jelly.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Lovely to see you again.
Well, that sounds like a great week.
Yeah, good. And then before that, I've just been working through the whole thing and trying to balance work and home, and then next week I'm going into hospital.
Oh,
so, yeah. I've got surgery booked for next Wednesday, so I'm actually in quarantine at the moment.
Okay.
But that's fine because I just play guitars all day or read books and try and do a bit of work when I have to.
Oh, good luck with that.
Excellent.
You know Jelly already, don't you? Through She's 17. Do you want to just explain to our multiple listeners about She's 17?
Yes, it was formed about, I think, 2013. We first, myself and my partner Angie first launched it as a little pilot event in the back room of a pub in Walthamstow called the Rose and Crown. And they very kindly charged us 25 quid for the hire of the room at the back. And said, yeah, we'll let you have a women-only event there, but we don't want any trouble. Yep. So you've got to allow men in, and we were like, fine, men can come in, that's fine. And we basically just set it up as a kind of local talent showcase for women musicians and girls. A lot of the women who came along had daughters who were playing ukuleles and guitars and whatnot at the time, wanted to sort of test their songs out. And I think we charged something ridiculous like £1 to get in. And the room was packed, which wasn't difficult because I think it had maximum capacity of about 40 people standing. But it was really successful. So we booked it again a month later and doubled the door price, and it was packed again. And then we moved to a different venue and then decided we'd do the event every other month. And it was either on a Friday or Saturday night. And the kind of network expanded, and I suppose our confidence grew with it as well in terms of building up the event locally. And we started, it was always my intention to run it as an open mic kind of event. And we only ever did that with the first event because we had people asking to perform from the second event onward. And my challenge was, how do I get everyone on the bill? And, how do we please everyone? And how do we program an evening of music? And it started out about the first year and a half, it was basically me accompanying everyone. So I'd be running the event and then I'd be on either guitar or bass, accompanying a singer or accompanying another guitarist. And I just had to stop. So, hang on a minute, I'll play with my band or I'll play solo, but I really don't want to get into accompanying everyone throughout the evening. And then we moved to, we had a kind of venue issue because we were in this really lovely little cafe, which had a very, very nice intimate cabaret setting. It was an old Greasy Spoon by day and salsa class venue by night. So it's kind of Vegas by night and Greasy Spoon by day. It was a really, really lovely Colombian family ran the place, the Grove Cafe, and they got turfed out by the gentrification. They went to a sourdough pizza company basically and moved on. So we had to find another venue. And we spent a year playing in tiny shoebox cafes and moving around the borough. And then we ended up doing a couple of events at the Wildcard Brewery, just round the corner from us. So it was quite handy for all the gear. And we were there really up until last September was the last event that we did there. And I think at that point they changed their sound system and we had a really, really good festival, but we were so exhausted and fed up by the end of it and kind of just not comfortable with our musicians performing in a space that had such sound issues and sort of challenges, because we're always all about building confidence for women musicians. And I think, I struggle if I see someone struggling to be heard with a microphone because the acoustics are off or because the sound isn't right, I kind of really don't feel comfortable with that and don't feel we're delivering on our promise. And I think, I'd always said I'd stop doing She 17 when I stopped enjoying it. And despite a successful event, last September's event was the one that where I decided, I wasn't enjoying it anymore and I needed to take a breather. So we kind of announced earlier this year we're taking a break and, look what happened anyway. So,
you've got one now.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think you might have changed your mind given
yeah, I think the thing I'm, if I'm being totally candid, the thing I'm kind of mulling over at the moment is how relevant She 17 is in this modern gender neutral day. And also, I was never able to take it on the road because of its name and its postcode connotation. So I had people saying, "Oh, you should do a She 17 in Hackney." I'm like, "Yeah, there's the postcode issue." I've always struggled with the kind of the brand expansion idea, and but also, I do wonder. I would like to do something, and I'd like to do something different.
There's something quite cute about having a very local Walthamstow-based scene that you've created, though. I think that's quite miniature and nice.
Maybe going back to the core values.
Yeah.
Of how we started it, and maybe going back to the core offering, and not trying to do such big events, but doing different. Something new is what I want to do ultimately. I'm not doing anything much musically at the moment, not just because of lockdown, but because of health issues, and I'm just literally having a rest at the moment. And if anything, I'm doing a lot of songwriting and a lot of rehearsing at home and kind of figuring stuff out. And I think it's actually quite restorative to sort of sit back and take stock and reflect on what's important and what motivates. And at the moment, it's learning new things on the guitar that's motivating, inspiring. So
I heard the doorbell go.
Did you?
I did. It went bing.
Who is it?
Let's see who's at the door.
Let's see.
Hey, it's Lorna.
Hi.
Hello. We are the Dorises, but there's Kimmi Watson.
Hi. Hello.
And Jelly Cleaver. Jelly Cleaver is having internet issues this evening, so she's maybe frozen in.
A little bit frozen, I think.
I just thought she was very, very poised.
Lorna from Rabies Babies. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's I haven't really been out very much, so this is the biggest social life thing that I've done for about maybe a month or something. So this is really exciting to have a party.
I have to say I'm very excited about this. I don't know if you have any super fans, but I would say that I'm a Rabies Babies super fan. I think you guys are fantastic. And yeah, it's very, very exciting to have you on.
Wow, cheers.
Everyone should be Rabies Babies super fans.
I agree.
It's just my cup of tea.
I think I was aware of you for the you played the very first Loud Women Fest, didn't you? You came along and you had chickens and dolls and all sorts of things on your heads. And I was
That's
Tea Chances, wasn't it?
chicken on the head. Yes,
it was at Tea Chances in Tottenham.
Yeah. I think it wasn't a chicken. It was a fish, like a red fish hat. It was a fish, not a chicken.
Jeez, Doris.
They all taste the same, really.
That was really good. We should have, if I'd have known in advance what it was going to be like, I would have got there really early and spent the whole day there and really enjoyed everything. But I think because we were playing quite late.
I think you were the last band on. I think you were the last band on, and everyone was quite drunk, and there was some quite drunk people enjoying.
No, it was so much fun though, and when we got there, we were like, I wish we'd come really a lot earlier and enjoyed the whole day of it. So it's a shame that we missed most of the day. But I think Laura's son was really young then, so it was really hard getting childcare for any length of time and leaving him and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the Loud Women Fest, like the one a year, well, almost a year ago. That was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. It was really good fun.
Yeah, looking forward to next year's. You've been going for ages and ages, though, haven't you?
Yeah, 21 years.
Oh, wow.
And we're just getting our first record coming out as well. So it's taken us a really long time. It's quite exciting putting a record out after all this time.
Because you've had bits of singles and recordings about, haven't you? Because I remember, in like 2009 or something, I came across a recording and I was very excited by it, but then I couldn't find anything about you anywhere.
No. I know that there is tracks on various compilations. Like we have done a couple of recordings in the past, but we've never really done anything with them. But then a couple have got onto compilations. And I was looking on Discogs at something. I don't Google myself all the time.
No shame in it.
There's compilations that we didn't even know existed, but they've got our songs on. So obviously people must have made compilations and then put our tracks on, but either not told us or told us and we forgot or whatever. We never got sent copies of, so we didn't know anything about. And then I was even going to send off for one just to see what version of the track they had on, but I didn't do that. I did think about it though.
So how was the recording experience for the first album?
It was really good. It was really excellent. So we wanted to record somewhere that was in the neighbourhood, because then it's easier for leaving Laura's son for any, like we had two days booked at the studio. So we wanted somewhere that was nearby, so in case she had to go, she could get to him really easily. So we went to a really local studio, and we used someone who doesn't normally, I think, record punk bands. And I'd done recording with him with a different band that I play in that sort of does like synth punk sort of stuff. And I'd really enjoyed the whole process of recording with him. So I wanted to go back with him and record with Rabies Babies. And also I really wanted to not go to just a standard punk person and get like the same sound as everyone else. I thought it would be more interesting to go to someone who doesn't normally record punk and see what they made of it. And we were really happy with everything. It was really fun recording with him. It seemed really easy. And another thing that we've done before when we've done recording is, you might do recording on one day and then you go back and do like the mixing. And we're so rubbish at that, like really, really bad. I remember probably about 20 years ago, we did recording with Dave Goodman, who's quite well-known recording person, engineer or whatever, who did like the Sex Pistols and everything. And he's passed away now. But we went to his studio and did recording with him, and it went really well, the recording. And then we went back the next day to do the mixing, And we just got really stoned and just basically sat in his garden getting really high. And then he kept saying, oh, do you like this one or this version? Do you want it to sound like this or like this? And we were just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, whatever. And then the next day we listened back to it and it was like, oh, this really isn't what we wanted it to sound like. And I think we never did anything with that recording. And at one time we just had a practice and recorded that, and that was probably our favourite recording up until this time. But doing it with Tim, it was really, I felt like he understood, he listened to what we wanted, he understood what we wanted, and then when it came to the mixing, we weren't even there. We just said to him, can you just do it? And then he sent us like a rough mix and we sort of listened to it. Laura and Tabby came round to my flat and we set up, we had like the stereo in the living room, we had like the speakers on my computer, and we had my little CD player in the bedroom, and we had a little iPod with a tiny little speaker, and we all went round and listened to the recordings on all of those things like you're meant to do. We were trying to be really professional about it, and then just sent him a few notes of tweaks. But if it was really only a couple of backwards and forwards, and he got really what we wanted, and it felt really a nice thing rather than us having to sit there. And I find it really difficult when you've listened to the sound of the snare drum 100 times and someone's going, which one do you like best? And it's like, I don't know.
We've all been through that particular nightmare, haven't we?
Yeah, it's really, I think sometimes it's good to do everything yourself, but sometimes you have to just recognise what you're good at doing and what you aren't really very good at doing. And it was better to just pass it over to someone else. And then we had the overall say in the end, but he made it sound good. We're really happy with it.
Yay. And that's out on Damaged Goods Records?
Yeah, on the 21st of August. It just went up to their warehouse today, actually. I got a message off Ian a few hours ago saying that it had arrived and he liked the look of it. Because it's been quite even though we had someone else do the mixing, but the actual getting all the artwork together and the presentation of it was really something that I think me in particular, because I as my job, I deal with looking at artwork for records. So it's something that I've really thought about a lot of how I would want my record to look. And so we put a lot into the whole package of it. Like there's a zine that goes with it, and all of the sleeves are hand printed, and there's like 6 different color variations. And
wow.
I love all that fun stuff.
It's really exactly, I feel really proud of the way that it looks. I think it looks really beautiful. Maybe we won't make another record again. That might be our only record, but I'm happy with it, the way that it looks, the way it sounds, everything about it. So it's good. My only thing now is that I really hope that there's only been 300 copies pressed, so it's not low, there's not going to be mountains of it, but I really want it to sell, so we're not ending up with like 290 copies still left over 10 years time or something.
I want one.
I've got a good feeling about it. You've left the fans hungry for it.
Or some people, I think that, you know, maybe they saw us 20 years ago and they're like, well, you're still going. Or people think that we split up and then got back together again, but we didn't. We never went anywhere. We've just always been chugging along, but always playing really small venues, and we never have really been anywhere. And that's fine. I think that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on kind of young bands, especially, to kind of keep going to the next level, and they kind of feel like maybe they haven't made it if they've been going a year and haven't been on Top of the Pops or whatever it is the kids have these days. But I think there's some real kind of, you know, honesty in just being a band that has fun and keeps going and plays small gigs.
Yeah, I think our sort of motto that we've always lived by is all about having fun. and we'll only do things if we think that they're fun. Like, we'll never go and play somewhere because it's going to be good for our career, or it's in some impressive place or in front of impressive people or whatever. We'd rather just go and play at just a party that we want to be at. And I think especially since Laura had her son as well, because it is so much, you have to be so much more selective of, if you've got to get a babysitter, you can't just go here, there and everywhere and play everything. You've got to only do the ones really that you want to do. And maybe that's why we're still going, and we're still, you know, we really love each other and have a really good time and really enjoy playing, because there's never been any pressure that anyone has to do anything. You know, it's totally acceptable if someone offers us a gig, then we ask each other, can you do it, and do you want to do it? And if someone says, oh no, actually I don't really want to go out that night, or I don't want to, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's acceptable to not go and do something. And I think that's fine, because if you're doing something for fun, I mean, really, none of us are ever going to make money out of doing this. So
I don't know. This album could be become some collector's item. You could be flogging them off for 50 quid a pop. Could be the beginning.
Yeah. We could look towards it. Actually, I bought a Slaves album at one of their gigs years ago, and at the Black Heart they played, and really enjoyed them playing. I was right at the front, and really enjoyed the gig. So I bought their record, and just off the band and the little merch store, had a chat with them. I was the only one buying something, had a chat with them. And now that record's worth 300 quid.
Nice.
So as soon as I found that out, I put it straight on Discogs. But I've sort of taken off my Discogs at the moment, because it's too difficult going to the post office. But I'm really hoping one day someone's going to buy that off me for 300 quid. That would be brilliant. That would more than pay for the gig ticket and everything.
Brilliant. Shall we hear some music from Kimmi Watson?
Let's do that.
Yes, please.
The target's inside. I've been up all night, just watching and waiting. Push the button, make it happen, then clean up any collateral damage. The job is done. You'll get your money when the job is done. You'll get your money when the job is done. You'll get your money. do as I'm told. I don't ask questions. You get your money when the job is done. You get your money when the job is done. You get your money when the job is done. You get your money.
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was great. I love that megaphone at the end. All songs should have a megaphone chorus.
I love megaphone. I'm probably going to do a whole song with megaphone vocals at some point.
Please do.
Yeah. So the first time I played that was at Loud Women acoustic gig last August at the Old Queen's Head, and I think I wrote it probably about a month before that gig, and it was kind of when I was I stopped working freelance and I'd gone back into full-time employment, but also I was quite obsessed with Killing Eve at the time as well.
Yeah.
It's partly about working as a contract killer. It's also about working as a freelancer. So there's a bit and a bit of fantasy in there.
That all makes total sense.
I often kind of announced it when I've done it live. I mean, I've only done it once with the full band. That was with the band Dick Bin Finn, and we played that at the Finsbury. I think it was last October. We supported Arcs at their EP launch, and that got its first full band debut last October, and then it was the first thing I wanted to record in lockdown, so I recorded that at home and got my daughter to program the drums for me because I am drum dyslexic, quite frankly. One instrument I cannot play and should not be allowed near. So that is contract cleaner.
Your daughter plays drums, though, didn't she?
Plays drums, she plays guitar, she plays bass, she plays piano, she plays everything.
Handy for lockdown, really, having a band member in-house.
Doesn't want to play with her mums anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, 17 going 18, and yeah. No
Kind
longer
of fair enough, though, isn't it?
Fair enough, yeah. But she did, she's a great source of new musical ideas as well. I mean, she WhatsApped me from upstairs to downstairs today. She WhatsApped me Heinz have done a cover version of The Clash's Spanish Bombs.
Oh,
That's my absolute favourite Clash song, so she sent me that today, and wouldn't have known about that.
I love Heinz. I'm going to have to go listen to that.
Yeah,
now.
they're brilliant. I got the best gig injury seeing them at Brixton. Ruby and Angie and I went, and Ruby wanted to be right at the front. We had to get there at 6 o'clock, and we were at the front of the queue, and we were right down the front. And Angie and I were the oldest people in the room by far. And I came out, and I'd got a bingo wing stuck. And squashed at the front of the stage, and I came out with the worst bruise ever.
Oh.
It was one of the best gigs I've ever
That's
been.
like hardcore sort of mum/Doris injury going on there. That's super impressive.
It's like who says women aren't over 40 aren't punk rock? That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever heard of a man getting a bingo wing injury? No. There you go.
Couldn't handle it.
It's amazing. I think it's a warning to us all. I'm going to go out with my wings well strapped in next time. Yeah. Duct tape around them.
I've got long to every gig since.
Wings. Yeah. Shall we hear some Rabies Babies music as well?
Yeah.
I just want to play Rape is Rape, even if the rapist is in a band you like.
Oh, yeah, play that. That would be great to play that.
What a title.
Brilliant.
She must have made it up. Tell her not to cause trouble.
me once!
What a banger.
Oh, do you know what? When we did that at the Loud Women birthday party last year, which I think actually was the best gig that I can remember playing for years and years and years. It was so much fun. It was just the best party, wasn't it?
It was so much fun.
All
It
of
was
it was just
great.
brilliant. And when we played that song, there was a few girls that were standing at the front that were singing along. And I've never noticed anyone doing that before. And it just it was so lovely to watch, like people singing along to that song as well. It was really, like, afterwards, we were really sort of blown away by it. It was good. It was quite special.
Yeah, I think everyone really relates to it. And we were all kind of like smiling and laughing through it, even though it's such a serious thing.
Difficult subject.
Yeah, you just really relate to that whole kind of, but you've got to separate the musician from the music. And no, you haven't. You really haven't. Yeah.
I think when we wrote that song, because there was a couple of instances that happened within our scene, and so we wanted to make a statement about that. And the song isn't about particular people, because I think it's more of a systemic thing than pointing out individual people. But I think it's a massive problem within the punk scene, within all music scenes. It's really bad thing that goes on. And when we first did that song, actually a few people out of bands, really, I got defriended by a few people on Facebook because of it. And people sort of having a go of, like, don't make trouble. You're sort of going to spoil the scene if you stir up trouble. And still, when we play that song in the set, we always go straight into another song afterwards, because when we first started doing it, we were actually scared that people would just boo us. And like, really, because we'd got this reaction off people about that song. So yeah, still when we play straight into another song, because in case people are like, you can't say that about men in bands. It's ridiculous, really. But we did get a little bit of shit off people for it.
It's times like that people really show their true colours. And
agreed.
Yeah, I think sometimes, with the punk scene, it's this big don't make waves. You've got to keep everything nice and keep the status quo. And we got that quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, but this is why it's so just such a lovely feeling when you get women and non-binary people, queer people, in the punk scene becoming a bit of a critical mass, and it just changes that whole vibe. It just really switches everything, and it can turn into just this, like, loud, angry but loving kind of a place. Yeah.
I mean, I really felt that at the Loud Women party last year. It was just the best atmosphere, wasn't it? Just walking around, everyone was having such a great time, really enjoying themselves. Absolutely no one was being a dickhead. It was just really, really great. And all gigs should be like that.
It was great, and I think I'd been feeling a bit low generally before that gig for one reason or another, and I kind of lost a bit of enthusiasm for Loud Women, and then kind of going along and seeing reactions like you said to your song, and the crowd just feeling like a unit, really just completely filled me up with love for Loud Women again. Yeah, I mean, as Kimmi was saying earlier, Kimmi runs She 17. You mentioned you'd been questioning whether, especially being called She 17, whether that is relevant in these days. And I feel that with Loud Women as well. I think if I was starting Loud Women now, I wouldn't necessarily call it Loud Women, as a lot of people feel excluded from our nights, who should feel included. But it is what it is, and it's definitely still a real kind of force for good. And I think it's important that we still have these spaces where we can come together and shout about men who literally get away with rape just because they're in a good band.
Yeah, or a not so good band sometimes as well.
More often than not.
Yeah.
What's people's plans for kind of coming out of lockdown and starting to play gigs again? But you, Kimmi, are you looking at any?
I was doing some solo stuff just before lockdown. I did a couple of solo gigs in March, and then I was due to be doing some gigs with Ik Bin Fin in April and May, and they obviously got cancelled. So I think with Ik Bin Fin, I think we're planning to record an EP. Finn is furiously writing songs at the moment. I'm waiting for her demos to come through so I can learn my bass lines and my harmonies, and we'll take it from there. We may end up recording Contract Cleaner on that EP as well, because the version we do live, it's a bit more kind of Killing Eve meets Keith Richards band.
I would like to hear that.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
It goes on forever as well. There's no getting Finn off the guitar solo on that one. So so we'll probably get that EP out as soon as we can get together, and I think it'll probably be later this year, but who knows what the situation is with studios. And I'm gonna carry on writing and thinking about what I want to do with She 17. I've had a lot of people saying, oh, why don't you do something digitally? And I really don't want to do anything digitally with She 17, because that's kind of what I do for a living, and I don't want to kind of, I just think we should park it for the moment, and when I'm ready, I'll get a gut instinct to do something, and I will follow that gut instinct. And obviously my priority is getting through surgery next week and recovering. And I tell you what, talk about karma. I was in a band with some friends for a friend's wedding. Basically, we put a scratch band together. This would have been about 20 years ago. We called ourselves the Ovarian Sisters. I'm having an ovarian
Nice.
cyst. So just be careful what you call your bands.
I mean, that is a great name for a band, though.
Yeah, it was. Pleased with it at the time. I think payback next week, but never mind.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And what about you, Lorna? Have you booked any gigs in, or are you just waiting?
We've got a postponed gig. We were meant to play in April at the Lexington with Hardskin, and it would have been brilliant. It was going to be our record launch, and it was my birthday, and I love the Lexington as well. It's my favourite venue, and it would have been a real good laugh playing that gig, but then that got cancelled. But it's been postponed to December. So fingers crossed it will go ahead in December. I mean, we don't really know, do we, when things will happen?
No.
So I haven't really been doing a lot of music. Me and Laura have started meeting up. The studio has reopened that we go to. So we've started doing just a little meet up on Friday mornings of just having a couple of hours of just trying to get new songs together and going through stuff. And our drummer is in Amsterdam. So she can't come over and play for a while, whenever, I don't know when that will be. No, but you can't even make plans, can you, at the moment? Because it's like, whatever happens, I don't know. So apart from the gig in December, we haven't got anything else planned. And then we'll just see what happens, and hopefully we'll be able to play some gigs. I mean, Laura's got a really great idea for doing a socially distanced gig. She lives on a boat, and so she thought it would be quite good if we played a gig on top of a boat, but sort of near to our local pub, which is next to the river. So the people could come and like stand around the pub or stand on the banks or whatever, and we'd be on a boat playing. And it would be great, but we need the drummer to come for that. So whenever she can come, I think there's no point in worrying too much about it, but I can't wait to go to a gig again. I'm really missing it. It would be, and especially because we've got the record here, it'd be really good to have a gig and like try and sell the record and show off about the record and stuff.
All in good time.
Yeah, something, it'll be okay. So I've been doing, I mean, since the lockdown started, really, I've been doing a lot of stuff towards the record, doing the zine I do a lot of, well, you know, I do a lot of drawing. So I've been doing loads of drawing stuff while lockdown's been on. So I tend to flip between drawing and music, and sometimes I'll do more music, sometimes more drawing. And I've been doing quite a bit of drawing lately. And I've got a few ideas for other zines that I'd like to do before the end of the year. So I think this year is more my zine year of doing a lot of zines.
And Lorna, when you do the zines, do you publish them online? Like, where can humans of the internet find your work?
I've got an Instagram, which I can never remember the address of. I have a blog called Gigs and Pencils.
Is it Magic Lawn?
Yes, yeah, that's it. Magic Lawn with an E on the end.
I don't know why that's stuck in my head. I've tagged
and that's you. It. Yeah, that's where I normally post stuff on the Instagram. If I don't post it anywhere else, I'll always put it on the Instagram. So I was doing a lockdown diary for the first couple of months of lockdown, because I thought it'd be quite interesting to document it. And and I'm working as well. I'm working from home, so I'm working full time. But then every day I was doing a drawing as well, and it felt like it took up my whole life for about 2 months. So I was like doing the diary every day, and so I stopped doing that at the start of June, and then started more doing the Rabies Babies stuff. And now that's finished, so I can move on to the next project of zine stuff. I'm not sure what that will be. I've got a few ideas, but it will be something. I'm quite into it. I really like it that there's a lot of zines about at the moment, and there's quite a resurgence of zines. I really love zines.
It's so great, like, and it's quite lovely to see, because a lot of the people who are doing zines are not people of kind of our generation who were there the first time around. Not presuming anyone's age in the room, but you know,
it's changed now as well, because like when I was a teenager, you'd buy zines to find out about bands, and it was a way of discovering the new music, because the only way you would discover new music was either on John Peel or in a zine or on a cassette that someone made for you. So zines were really important for communication. And I think now zines are more, they can be a bit more abstract, or more telling a story, or just political. There's a lot more. It's not just writing about bands you like anymore. It's different things. It's more interesting, I think, now.
Yeah, I really enjoy perusing the zine table, and I hope to once again at some gigs sometime.
Yeah, I've had a few people contact me asking if they can bring their zines to Loud Women Fest next year. So hopefully we'll get to go ahead with
maybe I'll do a She7. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a She7 zine.
Oh,
there you go.
Yep.
Nailed
Have you
on.
thought of doing a zine for Loud Women Fest? Has that been something that's been discussed?
I do an e-zine. Basically, our newsletter is called an e-zine, and I've thought of basically just printing that out because that's kind of the amount of time that I have. But yeah, it's just a matter of hours in the day. I'd love to do something like that, but yeah, maybe.
Everything takes too long, doesn't it? 'Cause that's the same as me. I have like loads of ideas. I need probably about 20 days in the week, and then I could do all of my ideas that I want to do. I really wanted to get furloughed when everyone was getting furloughed. That would just be my dream come true, to get furloughed. But just to have like 2 months to just be able to do all these projects that I've really wanted to do for ages and have loads of time to do them.
I was furloughed. Yeah, I was furloughed and still have achieved absolutely nothing. I haven't baked. I haven't written. I've written one song, but yeah, I haven't achieved anything. I've made a podcast, so.
You've homeschooled your children, you know. I mean, that's not nothing, is it?
I know, but what have they learned? I mean, Griff's learned a lot of new swear words.
All valuable in some way, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought we could have a little photo op anyway.
Oh, I feel like I should have the costume on.
Well, if you've got anything immediately to hand, go grab it now.
We can give you 2 minutes to go grab a,
fish on your
headgear or of some kind.
I'm going to wear, this is a bit retro. Haven't worn this one as a Rabies Babies outfit for a while.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
It's the future.
Cool. Can you get Radio 6 on that?
You can.
It's just occurred to me as I walked away to put the light on. That is a tremendous hat.
Amazing.
The story behind this Rabies Babies hat was quite a few years ago. We went on tour we went to play a gig in Germany, and we met a band from Germany, and we played 2 gigs with them, and we just got on really well with them, and we stayed up all night with them and raided the kitchen of the place where we were staying, and we all got like sieves, and we were walking around with sieves on our heads, and we just thought it was the funniest thing. And then about a year later, they invited us to do a couple of week tour around Germany with them. So we thought we should make outfits that go with the first meeting. So we dressed up with sieve hats and sort of had like silver outfits to go with them. Sort of like the Smash advert.
Yes.
The future. Yeah. That was the inspiration.
Excellent. With a bit of disco thrown in there as well.
Yeah, disco Smash.
Kimmy's been gone a long time. I can't wait to see what she's
going to come back in like a cool ball gown.
I'll be so disappointed if she's just got a hat on.
Or she's just like put a little bit of lipstick on and combs her hair.
But yeah, I quite like the Doris uniform. It's very, uniform.
I should have really.
And it's easy to wash as well.
Very. And it's got pockets. That's the most important feature to it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's got a top on.
I have my Doris t-shirt somewhere, but I can't for the love of me.
Never mind.
Have to buy another one.
Right, let's do your prettiest smiles or whatever. Grimaces, also tongue. There we go. I took a few.
Excellent.
Good.
Are you going to keep doing these podcasts?
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah,
I've been listening loads to podcasts at the moment because I've working from home and put the radio. I quite enjoyed the radio when it was Six Music and Craig Charles was doing it in the afternoon, but I just can't stand Steve Lamacq. He just really annoys me. So when he came back, then I just started listening to podcasts. So I've been listening loads to podcasts, and yours is the best so far. I just really enjoyed it today. It was the perfect podcast of what you want to hear. It was really good.
I'm going to use that as a little soundbite.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Play that on repeat.
Going as a banner somewhere now.
Yay. Thank you so much, Kimmi and Lorna, and in her absence, thank you, Jelly.
And we're sorry about your internet, Jelly.
Thanks so much. It was
Thanks so
really
much.
lovely. Thank you.
Hopefully see you all soon.
It's been a great party.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Don't need to know my name. Girls are all the same. Fags are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name. Dress us up in body pink and tie us to the glitches thing. Don't let us speak, don't let us think. As our cycles get in sync. Get in sync. Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Don't need to know my name. Girls are all the same. Birds are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name. Daddy's girls and all that malarkey. We know our place in the hierarchy. Do you think we're being sarky? Names are given by the patriarchy. Patriarchy. Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Don't need to know my name. Girls are all the same. Birds are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name. From notaries to rosaries, our fate is sealed in our bodies. We've got porous ovaries, so we're Doris nobodies. Nobodies. Just some Doris. Just some Doris. You can just ignore us. Just ignore. Don't need to know my name. Don't know mine. Girls are all the same. Birds are all the same. Chicks are all the same. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Girls are all the same. Girls are all the same. Girls are all the same. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Doris is our name. Doris is our name.